These are the 5 main mistakes that all beginner investors make. So if you're watching this video, you are in good company, you're starting to invest, and you want to make sure that you avoid any potholes that may be out there, and this video will be perfect for you. On this channel, we talk about real things that you can do for your financial goals. I'm not going to try to tell you anything. These are things you can do for yourself, and you can apply immediately to see the results that you want. Now, the first mistake that all investors make is that they don't start. A lot of people procrastinate. You have had a lot of talk about investing, it's out there on social media, but then you don't actually start. You want to start, but you don't start. Now, I will encourage you. A journey only starts with one step. So open that account and start investing. Stop procrastinating. You're losing so much in compounding interest by not starting now. If you're in your 30s, if you're in your 20s, it's not too late to start. Start investing now so that you can live comfortably and can accomplish the goals that you have for yourself financially. The second mistake that I see a lot is that when somebody is starting to invest, they actually do not have an emergency fund or a buffer account. And what happens is they take all the money that they have in their savings and they put it in an investment account. And what happens now is that you don't have a safety net. So I would encourage you that if you're starting to invest right now, make sure you have a buffer account where you have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses saved, and that you also have an emergency fund of about $1,000 for anything that could happen to you. This will just ensure that you have a safety net in case anything happens, because investments could go up or down. The third mistake is that you open an account but you don't actually invest. So you open a brokerage account, for instance, and you go in and you put money in it, but then you don't actually invest the funds. So it's essentially really a savings account for you. What you want to do is when you open that account is to make sure that you actually choose the index funds that you want to choose. Now I say index funds because that's what I use. You can also use a targeted fund, which is also an index fund. So you essentially open an account and you put your money in an index fund. Now this index fund is based on the type of risk that you're willing to take. So if you're a high risk taker versus a medium risk taker, you're able to leverage your risk based on the funds that are out there. If you open a Vanguard account, for instance, it tells the target allocations that you have, and then it tells the actual allocations that you have. So you're able to compare your target versus your actual and adjust accordingly. So once you open an account, make sure that you actually invest. That goes also for your 401k, for your Roth IRAs. When you put money towards those accounts or you contribute in those accounts, you actually select the investment that you want that money to be in. So don't make that mistake. Open an account and then actually invest. Fourth mistake that a lot of beginner investors make is that you go in blindly. So you don't do your research. You've watched all these videos. So you open an account, you saw a YouTuber doing big things, and you decide to do the same thing without really looking at the strategy that they have or even understanding it. So what I recommend is when you're beginning to invest, make sure you do your research. Watch as many videos as you need to watch. Read as many books as you need to read to make sure that you also safeguard the money that you earned. Don't go in blindly because you could lose a lot of money, and this will just discourage you from actually investing, which is a really great tool for building wealth. The next mistake that a lot of investors make is that you put too much. So this goes along with where you either do not have an emergency fund or you do not have a buffer. You put too much without actually doing your research. All these mistakes go hand in hand. When you're starting to invest, maybe just put your first toe in the water before you put your whole foot. Test the waters to understand how exactly it works. Now, index funds are a great way to start because you're able to see the performance of your account over time, and then you're able to get more comfortable with the risk that you want to take. However, if you go in head first, you may lose a lot of money because you don't really know what you're doing in the beginning. So maybe test it out a little bit, put a little, then increase it over time to make sure that you don't get discouraged if you lose all your money up front. The final mistake that a lot of beginner investors make is that they are in it short term. If you're starting to invest, please look at this as a long-term goal. Make sure that you're in it for the long haul because the market goes up and down. There's so much volatility with everything that's happening in the world right now. So you want to make sure that you're in it for the long term. And this actually also impacts your taxes because if you take that money out, you're going to be taxed on it. If you keep reinvesting it, you're able to avoid taxes. So make sure that you're thinking about this as you start to invest because people don't think about that. So you go in, you get a huge tax and you're discouraged immediately. So as you think about this, do your research, make sure you're in it long term, make sure that you ride the market. It goes up and down. If you take a hit, keep your money in your account. Do not take it out. If you take it out, then you lose all that money and you're not able to bounce back. But if you're in it long term, you have the opportunity to bounce back. Now, if you like this video, please do share, please do subscribe, and thank you for watching.